All right. All right. So we're in here. Um, Today, gonna have a quick overview of uh, the Western Conference playoff game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. This is the matchup that the NBA wanted. Two marquee teams, and you know the Steph versus the Steph versus LeBron narrative again. They faced each other in the NBA Finals a couple times when LeBron was with Cleveland, and these are the marquee names in the NBA: Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and they did not disappoint. I was highly entertained. I didn't know what to expect, but I was highly entertained. It was a very well played game. I haven't watched the Lakers play a lot this year. There were a lot of moving pieces after the trade with Russell Westbrook. So I was curious to see what would happen, and it was a slugfest. Couple narratives. I mean, the Lakers won 117 and 112, but the Lakers dominated inside. They gave the Warriors lots of problems inside, while the Warriors pretty much had their way with Sacramento inside. Anthony Davis and LeBron, two legitimate post up guys. They don't post up like guys in the 80s did or 90s did, but they can score in the low post. And Anthony Davis had 30 points, 23 rebounds. LeBron had 22 points and 11 boards, and they bothered the Warriors inside. They tried to bully them inside, scored a lot of points in the paint, and they also had really strong interior defense where it gave Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Looney made it hard for them to score inside. Even though they did score, at times, there were a lot of contested shots or shots that had been blocked, and the Warriors were kind of hesitant to shoot inside. So the other thing is that they shot a lot of free throws. They were 25 or 29 from the free throw line. There was some unnecessary fouls from the Warriors, but I think that the narrative that the Lakers kept going to the basket, while the Warriors shot a lot of threes. They were 21 for 53 from the 3-point line. Who shoots 53s in a 3 pointers in a playoff game or any game really? Uh, Steph Curry had 27 points on 6 of 13 shooting. Klay Thompson had 25 points, and Jordan Poole had 21 points. And they each had 6 3-pointers between them, 6 3-pointers apiece, while the whole Lakers team had 6 3-pointers in total. So that was the narrative. I think it may play out again tonight. But the other big narrative was the defense that the Lakers threw at Steph Curry and the perimeter players. Jerry Vanderbilt did a great job guarding Steph, chasing him around the whole night. He also scored 8 points and grabbed 6 rebounds, but he chased Steph the whole night. 6'8", rangy, and he could contest. I'm not saying he's gonna stop Steph, but he could test a lot of those shots without necessarily leaving his feet early and going for head fakes. Troy Brown Jr., Dennis Schroeder, they all chased Steph and Klay the whole night. They did a phenomenal job. And here's Jared Vanderbilt, probably share my screen, talking about the challenge guarding Steph Curry.
Came here. Certainly, a lot of guards. Steph's got to be at the top of the list, just with how much he moves. So, how did that plan evolve? What was the conversation with you, with coaching staff about you taking him, and what was your focus?
I mean, them just trusting in my ability. I think I've showed that since I've been here, and just that mutual, trust that we have in each other. And they gave me that assignment. Like I said when I got here, I want those type of assignments. I feel like that's how I can impact this team and bring value to the team. So, yeah. It's a lot. Right? I mean, like I said, he's a hell of a player. He's even more dangerous without the ball. So that 1 second when you kind of think you could relax when you give it up, that's when you got to lock in the most. So, yeah, with him, like I said, he's a tough cover. So, us having a lot of bodies that we could throw at him, starting with me, Dennis, whether it was Troy, I think everybody did a great job just kind of chasing him around and, kind of wearing him down and making it hard for him.
Okay, so he said he pretty much looks forward to the challenge of guarding Steph, and I think for someone like Steph or LeBron, I think the less you say, the best, the better. I know that the reporters wanted to get a statement out of him, a bulletin statement, sort of like what Dylan Brooks gave LeBron when Memphis was playing the Lakers, where he said LeBron was old. But I think it was pretty. He treated the question with aplomb. Where he said, "I look forward to the challenge," so on and so forth, which is good. You don't want to give Steph extra motivation, but I think the media may have given him extra motivation. Here's some of the ESPN analysts talking about the great job Jared Vanderbilt did against Steph Curry. Here goes.
What do you think? Yeah, listen, first of all, I agree. I still think the Warriors are going to win the series. Okay, so I said to you, if Anthony Davis can do that on any given night, they're probably going to win. I agree with Nick. I don't know that I'm going to pencil that in. He's been so inconsistent throughout his career, even in the last round. I think there's going to be nights where he doesn't match that. He doesn't give us what he gave us last night. And that opens the door for the Warriors because I think it's a very difficult defensive matchup and a difficult defensive attention to detail game in, game out. They did a great job executing it last night with their denials and playing on the high side and making Steph run through their chest, much like the Dellavedova did back in the day. We gave him so much credit. The Kings did none of it. They let him do whatever he wanted to do the entire series. Vanderbilt, Reeves, Russell, all of those guys that guarded him, they denied him, they hit him, they held him, they forced him to cut baseline rather than come out to get the ball. It's hard to do that game in and game out. And you saw Curry get loose in the fourth quarter when he had the ball more up the court. That's the adjustment Steve Kerr made, and that's going to continue going forward. Give him the ball to bring it up and get some screens in the backcourt.
Okay, that's Tim Legler. So anecdote on Tim Legler, by the way. I'm from Farmville, Virginia. I grew up like an hour from where he grew up. He's from Richmond, Virginia. He went to J.I. Tucker High School. I was at a basketball camp with Tim Legler. I was a junior in high school. He was a senior, I think he was. And he came to the camp late. He's so genteel on ESPN. It's funny. It's funny as hell to me. But he came to the camp late. He walks in looking like Thor. He walks in all cocky and carrying on. And he was a great jump shooter in high school. But he had the swagger to him in high school too. That's funny now to me when he's actually all genteel and nice. He wasn't that nice in high school, but he walked around like he was Thor. And he played pretty well during the camp. But he's a Jedi jump shooter. Went to Lafayette, balled out, and ended up playing the league. But I think it's funny watching him on TV now. But he talked about the Lakers, their defensive strategy against Clay and Steph to get on top of those guys and make them drive them away from the 3 point line and try to drive them towards the lane where they could shoot 2 pointers or tough twos where you maybe have a LeBron or a Anthony Davis waiting for them. There's been a lot of talk about how Jared Vanderbilt dominated Steph. A lot of talk from Jalen Rose, Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, and I'm sure Steph Curry has been listening to all the chatter about how he was highly bothered by Jared Vanderbilt and how he dominated Steph, troubled him, so on and so forth. I think Steph Curry is probably getting amped up right now. Listening to all the commentary about what a great job Jared Vanderbilt did against him. I think it's hard to guard someone who can shoot that far from outside because he can also drive by you. But I think he's going to be locked in tonight. I think he's going to be very aggressive. Not that he wasn't aggressive in game one, but I think it's going to be a lot of flopping from Steph. You can't touch him. That's the other thing about Steph and Clay. You can't touch those guys. They talk about him being one of the greatest shooters, Steph and Clay, two of the greatest shooters in NBA history. You also can't guard them that closely. You can't touch those guys because they flop a whole lot. Then there's Jerry Poole, who goes beyond the pale. He flops even when nobody's near him. But I think you're going to see a lot of flopping from Steph tonight, a lot of pantomiming and looking for foul calls. So I think he's going to be locked in and very aggressive from either shooting from deep, pulling early before the Lakers defense can set up, or even looking for foul calls. So the question is, will Steph Curry roast Jared Vanderbilt tonight? It's a must-win game in my opinion, for Golden State. They can't go down 0-2 to the Lakers, I don't think. So that's the question. I know Steph is getting amped up. He's getting hyped up. Extra motivation from the media, who's saying that Jared what a great job Jared Vanderbilt did against him. I think Vanderbilt's going to have his hands full tonight. Vanderbilt, Troy Brown, and Dennis Schroeder. So I think they did a great job with their defensive strategy, but now it's time for Golden State to adjust. So that's it. Will Steph Curry roast Jerry Vanderbilt tonight? We'll soon find out. Thank you for listening. Thank you.